Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Living on Insulin. My name is Cassie. I have been a type 1 diabetic for 16 years, and thank y'all so much for coming back to my YouTube channel. Before we get started, please hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you like it. If you didn't like it because he's on it, you can hit the dislike button. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let's get on to the video, and I hope y'all enjoy this. This is my friend, Jonathan Helmick. He has been a type 1 diabetic for not even a year now.
No,
I think it's been 8
July.
months.
Yeah.
Since July. Do you know your anniversary?
Yes, it's July 5th.
Oh, good job. I didn't know if you didn't know that one. All right, we're going to get into some questions here now. I have quite a few here for John. How old were you when you were diagnosed? What happened?
Well, right now I'm 23 years old, and it happened just a couple months ago in last July, so I haven't turned 24 yet. So 23 years old, and explain to you how it happened?
Yeah.
I worked camp at Mount Moriah Christian Church Camp here in Powell, Tennessee, the past 2 years, and this past summer, I was just going about my business. It was the fifth week of camp during Youth Congress, and I found myself, we were always doing things at Crown College, prepping for a bunch of meals and doing different things outside work, and I found myself losing some weight. And my original weight was 240, probably mid last year, just during the regular school year. I was around 240 pounds, and just started losing it towards the summer and getting into the summer. And I was kind of like thinking that it was only because we were working outside and in the heat and lots of things like that. So that's what I thought had been happening. But just the year prior to that, before that, we actually had a chance to meet one of the preachers, evangelists. His name's Brother Cody Sturgill, and his wife and 2 sons. And they come just about every year in camp. And so I had seen him that year, and then just this past summer, he came back a week early. He was just being there early for Youth Congress with his youth group, and I was able to see him. And the first thing he said to me was like, "What's up, brother?" And he was just like, "Are you sick?" And he just started asking me questions like,
You know something's wrong.
And I didn't. Well, I wasn't too sure, really, to be honest with you.
Right.
And he just started talking to me and was like, "Well, you look sick," and I was like, "I feel fine." I mean, I told him like some of the just causes that a lot of diabetics who don't know they're diabetics yet, ask themselves, like, why am I, frequent urination and always thirsty and those things and really tired and so he was like, "I bet you have diabetes," and he just flat out told me.
I told him that too.
And I was like, "No way, man!" And I started getting scared, and I was like, "No way!" And then he reassured me that it's an okay thing to have, but it's something you have to get addressed.
Yeah.
And you can control it. It's something that can be dealt with and taken care of. And so I was like, still kind of like scared about it. It's funny that when he told me that, because there's an actor singer out there. His name's Nick Jonas. Yeah. And when I was in high school, I found out that he had diabetes, and I was like, "This really stinks. He's gonna die." I didn't know what kind of disease it was, so I was like, man. And when he told me that I had diabetes, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna die. So it was like,
hey, if you don't take care of it though, you could die.
It was silly, but anyway, so after him addressing that to me, he actually went up to my camp director, Brother Steve Scoggins, and went straight to him and told him that I needed to go see a doctor and go to a clinic and get it looked at. And so after that, it wasn't long after before I was on my way to the...
He waited 5 days when I told him.
Yeah, so I waited a little while, but praise the Lord that, the Lord had those people, you and then Brother Cody Sturgill and some other people in my life, and just telling me that something was probably up and that I needed to take care of.
He looked terrible. Not saying
I was looking really skinny.
Pale,
I was looking really skinny, yeah.
Because you just looked pale. You had dark circles under his eyes.
Yeah.
And
skinny.
Yeah. How did you handle your diabetes being in the Army National Guard? How do you handle your diabetes?
Personally, I do it the same as if I were here. I'd check it before I eat and see how much insulin that I need to take based on the carbs I'm about to eat. And personally, from what I've been learning back in the day in the military, if you were diagnosed with diabetes, it was a medically discharge automatically. But I think in this day and age, it's easier to cope with, and you can sometimes get on a non-deployable status where it's like you don't have to worry about getting possibly sent overseas because of this. And I really wanted to go on some deployments, and I don't know 100% on all that's going to entail with that. But right now, it's, the unit understands that I have diabetes, and I've talked to my leadership, and we're I'm still working on trying to figure out some more answers on what's going to happen.
That's good. That's something to take into consideration if you're going to go into the Army National Guard, is make sure you're telling leaders, even class or whatever that you're doing, is make sure you have somebody that knows, a leader that knows about your diabetes, because it is a medical condition and it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
You don't want to keep things like that secret either.
Right.
It's just something that can come back to bite you.
Yes.
And, you don't want to, it's important, and it's your health, and,
Yes.
your health is very important. I know it is to me and a lot of people, and it ought to be. And so you just want to, watch out for things like that. Make sure you're keeping it addressed. You don't want to keep it secret.
That's just very good tip, is make sure people know about your diabetes. What was it like living 23 years of your life without diabetes, and then getting and having to pretty much change your lifestyle? Not all of your lifestyle, but change a lot of it.
Well, it's kind of wild because, you don't really expect it to happen to you.
Right.
A lot of times you may think it might be a type 2 diabetic because of maybe lack of exercise or lack of, dietary.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have been losing weight if
exactly,
you had type 2.
exactly. I was thinking about just like controlling what you eat. Having trouble controlling what you eat. But I just found it kind of crazy because I just really did have to think about what I'm eating to try to refrain and try to do a better job at, making better choices as to what I'm eating. So you can't always eat in excess of some of those things that you really want to, like maybe like lots of ice cream or other things like that. But,
Oreos, Natty Buddies.
Oreos,
Those are my favorites.
Well, I know, absolutely, mine too. So.
That's pretty good. And also, I just want to mention, your little sister has diabetes also.
Yes.
So you knew a little bit about it, and then he's helped me before when I was really low. So you were a little familiar with it. You just kind of knew what it was a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't have too much background knowledge, other than knowing that my sister got diagnosed a couple of years ago, and she's 14 now, or 16 now. She got diagnosed when she was 14, and I didn't really pay attention to it because I didn't think it'd be something that I'd have to deal with.
Right. Little did you know.
Yeah, right.
Okay, what was your first thought when you found out it was T1D?
I was thinking about how I'd probably have to start taking insulin by the needle. That's probably one thing that popped in my head.
Are you afraid of needles?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay. In the military, you get lots of shots and things like that. And so,
good.
I'm kind of used to it.
That's good. Do you feel like you get adequately trained from your doctor on how to manage your diabetes?
At first, when I went to the hospital and they told me what I needed to do, I don't feel like I was helped that much. There wasn't a period of instruction with it. They just told me, this is what you got to do. This is the insulin, put it in, and then you give yourself a shot. And I was like, whoa. Like they didn't show me at the hospital or anything. So, and this wasn't children's. This was just a regular hospital.
Yeah, children get way better taken care of than adults.
Exactly. And it was just, I wasn't real sure about it. But when I went to the pharmacist, they gave me a period of instruction and showed me some of the things and procedures that you got to do in the what they call SOP, standard operating procedures, on how to do it all. And so I learned there. And then you and your mom as well both really helped me.
Yeah, I feel like maybe if you didn't have me and mom, we said he had 3 mothers: his real mom, my mom, and me.
Yes. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. There's people looking out for you.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
What's it like being a college student with type 1, and has it ever affected school or a test?
As far as just being a student, I mean, at first it was a little weird knowing that I had to pull up my shirt a little bit and inject,
give
myself some insulin. Yeah, so at first I played around with it, just messing with people, oh, it's getting me now. But it's just part of my habits now. You develop a habit of just
you gotta do
blood.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep yourself alive.
Exactly. So giving yourself insulin and all of that is definitely important to do. So you can't be just not doing it. There's times where I find myself in a hurry and I haven't done it before, and it's like your A1C goes up, and your numbers go up, and so I just got back from the endocrinologist this past Tuesday, and they told me that my numbers had gone up a little bit, so wanted to definitely work on trying to do a better job at taking care of that and all of that.
Definitely. Has it ever affected a test or anything?
As far as tests, I wouldn't say so. There's been times in class where I felt like I'm getting low, and I carry snacks with me, but as far as tests or any quizzes like that, no.
That's good. I know that is a big concern with diabetes. Me being homeschooled, I can stop whenever I need to. What is the biggest thing that God has taught you through this diagnosis?
The biggest thing would have to probably be just knowing that the Lord doesn't give you anything that He doesn't already know about. That He isn't going to give you anything that He hasn't already seen. Right. That's going to happen to you. So just knowing that the Lord knew that I was going to get, and there's nothing that He's going to give you that, He hasn't made a way to help meet you there in that place for.
Right.
And so He's definitely a great comforter in knowing that He's going to take care of me, and that the Lord is putting a lot of great people at Temple Baptist Church and you and your mother, your stepdad as well, to help me to really take care of it and do my best to keep it under control. So the Lord has really provided lots of people and lots of different sources, I guess you would say, and different people to make sure that I'm doing all right.
Right, and a lot of type 1s have nobody to talk to.
Exactly.
They're not getting adequately trained. Yeah, that's really good. I always say, God has already written our stories, and we may not understand a lot of things that happen. Like, I don't understand why I got diabetes. He may not understand why he got diabetes. I don't understand why my dad died when I was 9, but God does, and God's always there for you, and that's pretty much what he just said. But, yeah, that's really good. Okay, last question. What do you have to say to somebody else who may be in your same shoes, just a college student, a guy, a girl, later in life and didn't know anything? What do you have to say to them if they just got diagnosed with type 1?
Well, I definitely encourage you to definitely find a endocrinologist that's going to help give you a lot of information that you may not be able to find from anywhere else. First and foremost is to definitely get up with somebody who's going to help encourage you and create right dietary habits and things like that, which are definitely crucial in trying to maintain your blood sugar levels and different things like that. And then also, just pray that God would offer and put things in your life, people in your life that can help, really relate to it. Because there's been you and some other people in the church that I've been able to talk to, knowing that they have diabetes or things like that. But it's just been a blessing knowing, that you're not the only one out there. So just try to reach out to somebody or find a group of people that are going to be able to help you and be an encouragement to you and just kind of be accountability partners and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. When we lived in Ohio, I didn't have any friends that had diabetes. And then we moved here. I think there was 4 of us, which I was like, oh my goodness, there's so many diabetics here. And now I think there's 7 of us actually. Maybe not, 5 of us, I think. So, yeah, it's good to have people to talk to. And you can reach out to people on social media. You can follow me on my Instagram at sweetly_modest. I post about diabetes every Thursday. You can also contact me. You can message me. You can follow him.
Absolutely. I'm going to try to remember. I think it's Johnny_Helms. John 94.
It's Johnny_Helms 94.
I think it's...
check your blood cast urgent low.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Just one sec.
Time
51.
Time to get some sweets. You drink milk?
We've always used milk and glucose tabs or peanut butter M&Ms. Because peanut butter M&Ms are like really good protein.
Yeah, they are good.
Wow. Guys can see my hands right now?
A little shaky.
A little?
Your teeth are going to fall out if you keep biting the glass like that.
That was me, that was that. So you can follow him on his Instagram at Johnny_Helms94. He does not post about diabetes, but you can still... you can...
Blooper!
No, that's going in. He does not post about diabetes, but you can still message him if you have any questions for him.
Yes,
you can message me if you have any questions for me. Okay, we're going to do a lightning round of questions real quick. There's 7 here. What has your lowest blood sugar been?
My lowest has probably been, I'd probably say 48. I think 48.
It's pretty good. I've been 14.
Oh, man.
Yeah. What has your highest been?
My highest was when I got diagnosed in July. It was 605.
605. Yeah, I actually checked his blood, and it
was a week prior. You checked it a week prior, and it was like...
June 31st is his real diagnosis day, because that's when I diagnosed. What has your main symptom that tells you you're low? So how do you know you're low?
I'd say there's like something in my stomach. I'd probably start getting a little shaky. and
I don't know how to explain that.
My hands start getting pretty rattly, a little shaky there too as well, and I'm just feeling really weak and kind of really fatigued.
You know, I've always had that in my stomach, but I never know how to like explain that.
Exactly, like it's only something
you have to feel it too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so weird. I've never known another diabetic that has had that symptom. Yeah. Okay, what is your main symptom that tells you you're high?
I've had it before where like a little blurriness against lights. Some of the lights that if I like, you know, if you can look up, you know, they get really cloudy and blurry. I can kind of sense that that's been kind of high. Because that was one that I checked once. It was blurry like that, and I was like, yeah, I know that I'm pretty high right now. So I feel
sick to my stomach. So
you
we
feel
don't
sick?
have that. Yeah. Do you have a favorite finger you use to check?
I always end up pricking my left index finger.
Because you're right-handed?
No, my right index finger.
You're right?
No.
You're left-handed.
What do I do it on? I have lots of... I'm a lefty.
You can see my fingers.
I'm always pricking my right hand.
I feel like the index finger is my favorite too.
Personally, it's my my middle finger. My middle finger is the one that I do it a lot too.
Yeah. If you had to choose to be high or low, which would you rather be?
High.
Because you don't feel as many symptoms.
Exactly. I don't feel as sick.
Except for when you're low, you get to eat a bunch of sugar.
Exactly, and you're excited.
Is there a Bible verse that you've clung to through your diagnosis?
Personally, one that automatically comes to mind is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not in thine own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. You know, it doesn't matter what. I was a little frustrated, not exactly towards the Lord, but I was confused once I figured out that I was a diabetic and that I could possibly be medically discharged out of the military because of it all, and I was kind of confused and not necessarily mad at God. I was kind of upset in a way, and but I really wasn't sure. But we really ought to just trust that God has a purpose for everything that we go through in this life, and it's nothing that He hasn't already thought of before it happens to us. You know, so knowing that and having peace and knowing that, you know, God's way is the best ways is what's really helped me, you know, through it, and kind of just not just cope with it, but just, you know, learn to live with it, you know. Right.
Yeah, I had to learn that after my dad died. That was hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something real quick we're going to talk about is wearing a medical ID. We both have medical IDs. He has a bracelet. I have a necklace. Wearing a medical ID is very important, especially if you drive or are in a car with somebody and you're in a wreck. The paramedics aren't going to know that you're a type 1 diabetic if you don't have a medical ID on. So I would highly recommend to you getting a medical ID bracelet or necklace and wearing it. You can get tattoo, non-permanent tattoo. What are they called? They're
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it.
I don't either. They have like these stickers that you can put on your arm that are like really big, and they say type 1 diabetic. They're like the non-permanent tattoo thingies. I can't think of what they're called right now, but you can get those also.
I forget the name of them.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if you have any questions for us. Thank y'all so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.
See ya. Blooper!